Nassau County Executive Edward Mangano says he's excited about the possibility of the movie industry coming back to Long Island.
We have a rich history. It goes back to Citizen Kane at Oheka Castle, to The Godfather shot at Nassau Community College. The famous scene of the toll booths were actually shot on a portion of the old runway that still exists over at Nassau Community College. But there's been so many movies in between, and we're really building on it. I'm very proud that Nassau County now has actual film studios, so we can invite production companies in to the county to do extensive filming, as opposed to just looking for the scenic shots. You can actually come here and do the indoor scenery shots, those that we produce here, and have a full-service production studio for movies and TVs, commercials, and we're at the ready to continue towards that effort to make Nassau County a premier location to shoot full-length production films.
This is Long Island's newest movie studio, Gold Coast Studios in Bethpage. Mangano says this is one of the best ways to bring the filmmaking industry back to Long Island. Joe Listrito is one of the owners of Gold Coast Studios.
What we're trying to create is the studio for them to be based out of here in Long Island. And you know, before they had to come here to do scenes, but if you know, we're believers that if we can have a base for them to work from, then they'll film even more in the surrounding areas and utilize, you know, because it's a lot easier to, if their base is here, then to spread out to, you know, lots of areas in Long Island. There's so many great spots to film and to expand the overall industry and keep, you know, keep the revenue first in New York State, because, you know, the tax incentives are for all in New York State, but to, you know, take it a step further, you know, here in Nassau County where we have these buildings and have the land, and, you know, if we kind of, if you build it, they'll come. That's, you know, what we're thinking is, you know, we built this and they came, and now we're going to see if we can keep it going and, you know, keep expanding it.
Glenn Listrito says this is a great opportunity all around.
You know, this is really the first major studio, you know, like Joe said, that was completely, we have it built out and it's ready to, you know, to take on new production here on Long Island, and that's what we're really excited about. And we see the opportunity there, something that really is hasn't been available on Long Island over the last, you know, 20 or 30 years.
It's a great space. It's high bay, open. It's an airplane hangar, so it lends itself to that industry without columns. We have lots of parking around the facility and access. You know, we've turned it from a warehouse into a full studio with electric, bells and lights, wireless internet, hair and makeup sets, office space, you know, seating for 200 people for cafeteria within the facility. So it's really, the electrical service has been modified. So it's a full service, you know, a production company can move in and start operating right away. So it really is a full service facility.
Another thing that's great is just the amount of jobs that have been created, you know, with a film like Man on the Ledge. I mean, there are probably 80 full-time carpenters working there for over, you know, six to 8 weeks just building these sets. And when I say they're carpenters, they're carpenters, but they're really artists as well. Because when you see what they're in there making, and the illusions that are created are just phenomenal. It's just a wonderful thing to have. It's really a form of manufacturing back here in Long Island, especially in a facility like this with Grumman, where at one point there were, you know, 20,000 people that were here working in the factories, and, you know, obviously a lot of that work is dried up.
Where do you see job creation like this? And it's good, you know, great jobs, good paying jobs, and, you know, lots of them. And, you know, this was just one movie with almost 400 employees. You know, if you could multiply that by, you know, numerous stages, you know, it's a lot of jobs, and, you know, jobs that a lot of people, and we were surprised, there's a lot of people that work in the stage or live in Long Island or, you know, Nassau or Suffolk, so they love working here versus going to the city. So it's lots of advantages, and it's keeping a lot of the money here in Long Island and not sending it to California.
You know, our long-term goal is to really have a full-service backlot studio with property and outside sets that maybe can stay permanent, maybe for like city streets or Manhattan scenes. You know, there's a vast amount of parking here for you know, for the industry, which, you know, when you're in Brooklyn and Queens, I mean, they have great studios in the city, but parking is limited. So, you know, our long-term goal is to have like a true, you know, mini, you know, Los Angeles type studio here where we can have the back lots and really have a, you know, a full-fledged facility.
While they won't exactly say what movies are lined up to shoot here in the near future, the owners say they're pretty confident that there will be some big news coming out of these studios very soon. In Bethpage, Collora reporting.